some of your classmates' answers can kind of help clarify that. First of all, let's just start off. In question 1, it says, what does the author mean when he says her death was tragic but it wasn't senseless? What does it mean, thinking back to Romeo and Juliet, what if something is tragic? What does that mean? You can shout it out if you remember. Sad, beautiful. So tragic means something that is sad. What if it means something is senseless? Yep, done without sense. You know, if your parents ever say, like, you're acting senseless, like it just doesn't quite fit. Okay, so then he's saying her death was sad, but that he's saying it was not senseless. So if something is not senseless, then what does that mean? It actually does make sense. So he's saying her death is sad, but it makes sense. Can someone explain that to me? Go ahead, Janae, and then Darren, you can build.
I mean that our death was sad, but it didn't make sense because she didn't have the story what was left with lights.
Great. So it made sense because she didn't have a vest on. Why would the vest have helped? They would have been able to see her in the dark. Darian, what was another thing that you cited that might have been another reason why it would have made sense? That we were reading out in paragraph 2.
You couldn't see.
Great. Couldn't see the crosswalk. Okay. So we didn't have these safety measures in place that could have actually prevented this death. So it kind of makes sense that she got hit and nobody could see her. Yeah, it does kind of seem like it was a hit and run, right? I'm not sure, he doesn't speak to it, but he does say that he found the woman and she died in his arms, so I'm not quite sure about that. Question 2. Who do you think the author blames for the runner's death? And it can also be a what. John, I saw you got some thoughts down. What was something you cited for who do you think the author blames for the runner's death? Give me one thing. Okay, why was the runner partially responsible? Definitely. Can someone build on what Jerron is saying? Because he's definitely on the right track. Janae.
The runner because she didn't have like the vest on. Yeah, it was noticeable. It was in the dark, so you couldn't see her.
Great. So she's partly responsible because she didn't, take these measures to protect herself. Anything else that's to blame? Yep, so kind of going back to what Darian said, the crosswalks weren't visible. So who's at fault for the crosswalks? Yeah, the state or the city that's responsible for maintaining them? Absolutely. A question that somebody asked in my first class was, okay, yeah, I get all this, Miss Oliver, but what does this have to do with guns? Was anyone thinking that as they were reading? Anyone thinking that? Okay, good. So this is actually an argumentative strategy that we're going to be talking about a little bit later, but keep that in mind because this author's going to make a connection here in these next couple paragraphs, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to continue on your reading. You're going to be reading paragraphs 4 through 8, and then it's going to have you stop and answer question 3, okay? Let's take 6 minutes. We're going to read paragraphs 4 through 8 and stop and drop question 3.